I'm Gladys, Assistant Professor of English, St. John's College of Arts and Science, Amandilai, and I am hosting the program today. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. We, St. John's College of Arts and Science, Amandilai, Tamil Nadu, India, we cordially invite you all to the fourth day of this International Faculty Development Program on developing skills and personality in teaching collaborated with Cape Comorin Trust, Lavender Literary Club, India, and Department of English, St. John's College of Arts and Science, Amandivillai, Tamil Nadu, India. Without further delay, we will turn the time over to today's presenter, Dr. Charushila Patil, Assistant Professor English, Singhat College of Arts and Science Commerce, Narhe, Pune. And let me have a brief intro about ma'am. Dr. Charushila Patil has completed her MA English and set MPhil PhD from the Department of English, Savitribai Phule, Pune University. Ma'am has also completed a minor research project on the use of audiovisual aids for teaching English. She has 18 years of teaching experience. She has also shouldered the responsibilities like Students Welfare Officer, Academic and Research Coordinator, Center Coordinator Board of Extramural Studies, and a member of College Development Committee. She has participated in various state, national, and international conferences in India and abroad. Ma'am, she has chaired the technical sessions, namely on Canadian literature at an international conference held at Kaktiya University, Warangal, Andhra Pradesh. Globalization and English literature at an international conference at the Department of English, Mumbai, and literature, language, and linguistics at an international conference held at Trivandrum, Kerala, organized by Malankara Catholic College, Kanyakumari. She is awarded with a gold medal for the session's best presentation on ponderings on the dimensions of Indian culture at an international conference held at Bali, Indonesia. There are more than 15 research papers on her credit that are published in national and international peer-reviewed journals for 4 articles in book with ISBN. Recently, she has also delivered a lecture on trends and trending in Indian languages and culture at Vishwabharati University, Shantiniketan, Kolkata. Ma'am is a recipient of Young Teacher Fellowship for participation in international conference at Deepu campus, Guwahati, Assam, and for participation in international conference at Bali, Indonesia. Dr. Charushila Patil, ma'am, she believes in learning by doing and is ready to walk an extra mile for better results. So I request you all to welcome our ma'am. Ma'am, you can continue.
Yeah, thank you for such a wonderful introduction.
Thank you.
Very good evening to all the participants who are present here virtually. I'm also thankful to Regin Silvit sir, for inviting me for this faculty development program on soft skills. Through this presentation, I tried to share some of my experiences that I carried out during my classes, and as a result, I found that this can be the better platform to share my ideas and views in order to make teaching as a collaborative activity, and that is what I had in my mind. But then there are many other skills also, but why I have thought of writing skills, that is another question that I wanted to speak about here. Is that most of the time students hesitate to write, and I tried to delve deep into their understanding that what is that make them, what is that make them not to write. Then after having so many years experience and working with students, I realized that something needs to be done, and in whichever way I could do that, I tried to do that with this these are as an experiments. So perhaps in my presentation you will find some of the activities also that if we want we can do together, and my aim is to make a collaborative or make this as an two-way process rather than giving only or talking only about the writing skills or how we can nurture writing skills. So that is one thing that I wanted to clear in the beginning. Secondly, yes, I would be happy if you all sit with a pen and a paper around you, because we need to, since we are talking about writing skills, some exercises needs to be done, and perhaps that will gain more better understanding of what I'm trying to say. Okay, so with this, I can go ahead and then, yes. Okay. So it's like, what is writing? And then I tried to put some of the ideas here. What is writing, and put your ideas into words. That is a pen and paper. When making black. Sorry, unless you put it black on white, then it doesn't work as a writing. And that's why you need to have some ideas, some thought process that has to be a part of your that you want to put on paper. So some kind of expression is called as writing. Now, next thing is that it makes you think about. So what is that? We are all the time asking, unless if somebody asks you, okay, let me ask you this way. If someone asks you, would you like to talk about, or would you like to write about yourself? So what is the best option anyone would prefer easily? May I know? Yes. If someone asks you to talk about yourself or to write about yourself, which will be the best option?
Talk only.
Writing.
Now talk
Okay.
to introduce ourselves directly, which is easier one rather than writing.
For
Yes.
students,
Yes. Yeah.
they
So-
like to write.
Yeah. So
For students, they like to write, and for us, we used to talk.
most of the time what happens, it's now I have given few examples ahead, we will discuss them. Yes, so it makes you think about. So writing makes you think about, and that's why it is a thoughtful action. And this thoughtful action sometimes a painful activity also. Now how it becomes a painful activity? Because if someone asks you, okay, give me in writing, suppose you want few excuses, like you won't be in your office, you say you request your boss that I won't be coming for a couple of days. So the boss will say, no, you give me in writing few lines, so that, or give me a written application that you won't be coming. So again you have to sit and write. So it takes time, of course, but along with that, you have to be very careful about while writing, whom I am writing, what should I write, the words, the style, the correctness, everything, things are there. And so writing becomes painful activity. Otherwise, you'll say, I'll just talk and go. That is an easier one. But we don't have that option all the time. So sometimes writing becomes a painful activity. So here is a question that, how often do we write? How often do we write is that most of the time, let us try to memorize. See, we are all teachers or students, but apart from teachers and students, are there any other people around us that they usually, there must be, but there are the numbers, percentage will be very less, that they frequently write about. So that percentage is very less. And so just ask this question to ourselves also, that when did I write last time? Okay. Is it a last week, last month, or last year, or before so many years, etc.? No, so this is something that we often do not practice writing, and that makes us to learn something, or it makes us to sharpen our saw. So this is an attempt to how to do that. Okay. Now, in the traditional method of teaching, most of the time, when do the students write? Okay, usually we ask them some kind of assignment in the class. If we ask them complete these assignments, so they won't write the assignment on their own. They'll make sure that they'll get it as a homework, and they'll copy from their friend's notebook, or either out of 100 students, maybe 10 students will write the assignment on their own, and then after that they will circulate that notebook among the class, and then that's how the assignment is submitted. Even the same kind of journals are copied and are not written. Most of the time, the same thing. That is, few people will work in real sense, but not all of them will work in real sense. So journals are also copied to some extent, and not written. That's why it's wrote the two words different. That is copied and written, because copying is a mechanical act, whereas writing is a thoughtful action. So you need to take care of, understand the difference between these two things. Okay, then applications or leave applications, or if you are a hostelite, so you have to write an application for night outs, etc. Or why I occasions where usually students write. Okay. Now, what is that deprives them from writing? Or what are the common barriers, or rather, I would say, what are the common obstacles that they find that that makes them writing as a difficult thing? That is, let's try to understand, are we trained for writing? Now, yes, of course, we are trained for writing from schooling. We know how to write words. We know how to write the sentences. We know how to write the paragraphs. We know how to write even the essays, etc. But that is done for the sake of examination as such, not as a hobby, or not as some skills that needs to be learned to an extensive manner. Now, yes, so these are some of the things that students often talk about. And if you ask them, they will say, ma'am, we want to write, but the problem is that we don't know how to write, what to write, and we can't get the words, proper words to write about. If we find words, we are stuck up with the grammar, that, we don't know the exact rules of grammar, though they have learned it in school, but still there is this scenario that students often do not write. Then ignorance. Ignorance means no one has made them realize that one needs to learn writing as such. And this writing is very much describe about, not only about themselves, but their thought process. So ignorance is also there. And then disinterest. Now, what is that disinterest? In the sense, see, if you lose the interest in learning something, the students will never learn that thing. So if in the initial years of learning, if the student has not understood or not developed interest for learning or for writing, then he or she will automatically dislike that area of learning. So disinterest is there, dislike is there, and moreover, it seems a very heavy task, like apart from the teachers, or the students, those who are really committed for learning. So who bothers about writing? So that makes a difficult thing. Now, again, yeah. So now for us, this last point is from the teacher's point of view that I talked about, that the teachers can say, yeah, there's 120, 150 students in a class. So how can we manage to train the students to check their writing skills? So, but yes, that is one, what we can say, obstacle or barrier in training them for writing, because we cannot go on read line by line from every student's notebook. So that is again one of the barrier in teaching or learning writing skills as such. So these are some of the barriers that I could think. Now, how can we make this exercise as an interesting one? Let's see. Yeah. So yes. Now, suppose in your class there are students, and of course, this is my personal opinion, is that all the classrooms are meant for students, but not all the students are meant for the classrooms. So every student has different liking. So it is not necessary that all the 100 students in a class should like writing or like reading or like listening, etc. So here also, but the teacher's job is to motivate them to learn that, to if not 100% but at least 20%, 30%, he or she can initiate the process of learning among the students, and that we can do. Now, this is just an exercise that I have given. This is an example that I have given. So how we can understand whether what kind of students are they, or this particular bunch of students or a class of students. So you can give them a small task, give them 5 sentences or 10 sentences, which has some error in it. And those 10 sentences, you can ask them to write on their own. Now, the problem is not in correcting all those sentences, because every student will say, I have written it correctly. But then we as a teacher also has some limitations to check all the 100 students' notebooks. So what we do, I make them to exchange their notebooks to their friends. Now, when they exchange the notebooks to their friends, they realize that if they have made the mistake, they really has to tick wrong only there, because if he is being just to the answer, then the other student will also be just to the answer. Otherwise, they will not get the exact understanding of what they have been asked to do. So here, if you ask their friends to check their notebook, they'll be very conscious about what they are writing. And please note that it should be done once they finish that error analysis exercise entirely. So if you give them 10 sentences, ask them to solve, and they have in their mind that the teacher will check the answers. But instead of me as a teacher, or we as a teachers, ask them to exchange the notebooks, and they will see what happens with the assessment. Or else you can write the answers on the blackboard or through the PPT. So these can be answers can be given to the students, and they can be made realize what went wrong, and then how they can improve it, how they can make their understanding more better. Okay. Now, yes, so that was to analyze and understand the purpose of writing for them. Now here, what are the common purposes of writing usually? Now, usually we write for academic purpose or administrative purpose. You know, the language differs from formal and from informal to formal, etc. It depends on the purpose of writing. So if you're writing for academic purpose, of course, we have to be very formal, even for the administrative purpose also, even for the documentation purpose, etc. So formal use of language can be done. But then it differs from writing for fun and writing for expression and creative writing. See, the rest of the three are very different one, because formal writing is something that you have to be very you have to be very concerned about the specificity, the correctness of all those things. Whereas writing for expression is a joyful activity, and one can do it as a hobby. So so there's a difference between writing for formal purpose and writing for expression, or writing for creative writing. Now, look at this point, that writing concretizes the thoughts. That's really very interesting. That if you ask somebody to speak about, he may speak about for 1 hour. If you ask somebody to listen, he or she may listen to that talk. If you ask somebody to read loudly, he or she may read loudly. But writing is some such activity that unless the things are very much clear to yourself, you cannot put them on the paper And so there you need not, you automatically get words what you want to describe. Maybe there's a difference of degree, but there won't be a difference of kind as such. So if you are, if you are convinced with your ideas, if you have understood what you want to say, so then only you can write. So I remember when I first approached my PhD guide, and I told him, sir, this is something that I want to talk, I want to work upon as my research area. So, and almost 15 to 20 minutes, I told sir whatever my idea was about my research proposal or my research project. But he listened to me, but one final word sir said, and that was, okay, Charushila, what you have to do, you have to write a one-page write-up that what you want to do exactly. And then I realized the importance of writing, because it was there everything in my mind, but to put it on paper was the biggest task. And then I realized that writing concretizes the thoughts. So unless and until we are very sure on very clear, crystal clear about our ideas, we cannot write. So that is one thing that we should understand. So these are some of the observations about writing. Now, how I have tried to make it as a more interesting activity, beginning with the students, okay, or as a part of a learning, teaching process. Yeah. Okay. Now, as I said, let's have a collaborative learning or this class. Now, this is a, can you all see the picture? I hope you all can see, yes. I just want to know, all of you, this is just a photograph which I have taken from Indian Express. It was there in the front page of Indian Express. And now the period that we are going through, it speaks about it. So I want somebody to suggest a title to this photo or this particular photograph. You can suggest a title, or you can talk about the two boys, that anything that comes to your mind.
Ma'am, are they trying to convey regarding social awareness?
Yes, very good. Social awareness, yes.
Helping the other.
Yes,
How to
helping the other, yes. Yeah. Anything else?
Awareness for coronavirus, ma'am.
Okay, yes. So, yeah, very good. Thank you. Now here, this speaks, it speaks for caring for each other. There's a thunder and the rain. You won't believe, but in Maharashtra it is thunder and rain. That's why that noise. Okay, so here we can talk about this title. This picture we can say caring, a touch, a very touching picture. If you see, it speaks volumes for caring for each other. And this is actually this is a very small kids they are, but they know that we should take care of each other. And this picture speaks more than our words. Okay, so this we can say care. Let's care for each other. So that can be the title that we can have. Okay. Now, yeah. Now, another thing is that usually what happens if you if you ask any student to describe something, let's see, okay, if the student has gone to attend a party. So if I ask her, okay, can you describe what was so special about the party? So he will go on, or she will go on talking. The party was good. The food was good. Maybe the organization was good, but good, the whole scenario of party for the reader. And a good writer always tries to give the details in such a way that the reader can visualize the things. So here, this is picture is one of my colleague who is a good he sketches the pictures and he has sketched that picture. So I thought let me use it as a part of my presentation. So I want a couple of words, maybe than that which describes this picture. Okay, can someone please try? You can talk about hair and nose, eyes, lips, anything about this.
The eyes shows disappointment. Eyes shows disappointment, ma'am.
Okay, eyes shows disappointment. Anything else? Yes, good. Anything else?
The sign of depression.
Okay, the sign of depression. What about hair? How will you, is anyone?
That shows innocence.
Okay, innocence. Yeah. Okay.
Trendy.
Pardon?
Trendy. The hairstyle.
Trendy. Yes, very good. So yeah, we actually the joy of a language, it's a brevity is the soul of language, they say. So the more brief and apt you become, more appropriate. It stands more appealing. All those Instagram posts, they are very apt. They become more famous when they are very small yet reflecting. So trendy, yes, or any other innocence that speaks, depression that speaks. So the brevity and aptness of language is important, and that's why I could have means one who is with high imagination power can write almost a page about the beauty of this girl or about this appearance of this girl, but creativity, imagination needs to be inculcated, in the sense trained. It's inborn, but we can train also to some extent. In Shakespeare's that poem, the world is sorry, yeah, what is that? Seven. World is too much. No, not. What is that? 7 stages of the human life. Yeah. So there he writes that he at the young age, the youth can spend pages and pages of writing about the eyebrow of a beloved. Okay, but he was means that is what a poem by Shakespeare. But we all are not blessed with so much. Means only few of us are blessed with writing the poetry to a great extent. Okay, so basically writing is not everybody's cup of tea. We need to look into that. So here, if you write 5 words which will describe the beauty of this girl, you are slightly starting with that, or it will add more to our dictionary, something like that. Okay, now this is a very interesting activity. Here I have purposely selected this set of words. Can you see that what is common in this? Can you tell me?
Nature.
Pardon?
Nature, ma'am. Nature.
Nature. Okay.
Farm, flowers.
Related to ground. I mean flowers, and the animals, and all the
Food. Is it food?
Okay.
no chili, chopper, and all. It is not.
Okay. Yeah. Now here I have okay. Yes. What I have planned is that, see, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of words. Now I give you a choice that you can select a horizontal row or you can select a vertical row. Okay, all of you, I hope you are sitting with the pen and paper as I told you in the beginning only. So you can select any one row, horizontal row or vertical row. So select any one row and then you have to make at least 2 sentences out of it. Please try to make 2 sentences out of the set that you have selected. Okay, a meaningful sentence. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you 5 minutes to do that.
Ma'am, I have made 2 sentences.
Okay,
Dr.
that's
Chitra
great.
madam. Uh,
We'll wait for one more minute so that others will be also ready.
Shall I tell? Or?
Yeah, actually, I write. If it would have been Zoom meeting, I would have typed the sentence here. But I am not very familiar with Google Meet, so we can read. I'll listen to the sentence, okay? But I can write here also.
Shall I tell, ma'am?
Yeah, please. First, tell your name, please.
I'm Dr. Chitra Srinivasan from Kutralam. I belong to physics department.
Okay, that's so nice of you, ma'am. Okay. Yeah, ma'am, please go ahead with your sentence.
In our farm, many trees are there. Chili plants are also growing. My mom asked me to collect a pot of chilies. First one.
Yeah, very good. I listen in the farm. There were. Will you repeat?
In our farm, many trees are there.
Yes.
Chili plants are also growing. Chili
Yes.
plants are also growing. My mom asked me to collect a pot of chilies.
Very good, very good. Yeah. Now, ma'am, if I ask you, okay, do we have any other sentence ready?
Yeah, ready.
Yeah, please.
Under the fenced tamarind tree,
Okay.
under
Just a
the
minute.
fenced,
Ma'am, which row you have selected?
last one.
Okay,
Last
one. Okay, fine.
Last row.
Okay, fine. Next, yeah. Please go ahead.
Under the fenced tamarind tree, I prepared cake along with choco powder.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Okay, so that's great. Now, friends, this is the beauty of teaching writing skills. Now, was it a very difficult exercise? Yes, was it a very difficult exercise?
No, ma'am. No.
Yeah. So
For me,
this,
no.
yeah. So this kind of exercises will involve the students in learning. Instead of asking them write 10 sentences, if we give like this some sort of activities, they will enjoy doing it. And in a class there is a sense of competitiveness by learning. So now also when I ask, okay, we let's see who writes first, so then all the students will say, okay, they have this sense of competitiveness, they want, and everybody wants recognition, a kind of a recognition in class. So this sort of sentences they will make n number of sentences. They will, if I have told you go for horizontally and vertically, but I may go ask them some other selection of words, and then they can make many sentences. So this is how one can make the learning of teaching of writing skills very engaging activity. Okay, I hope you understood this. Yes, fine. Next, Yeah, there are some learners. Okay, now this is beginner. Earlier was a beginner, and now there are some advanced learners in the class. So they need little more extra work or difficulty level. Advanced students need little difficulty level more as such. So here, this is a poem by Sarojini Naidu, and there, this is, I have collected these 4 lines only, and this I have highlighted a few words. And these words I have purposely selected because they are not their day-to-day language as such. The poetic language. This is a typical poetic language. Okay. So can someone read those 4 lines?
Spare me no bliss, no pang of strife. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, audible. Proceed, please.
Yeah. Withhold no gift or grief
Yes.
I crave. The intricate love.
Yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah, the intricate love of love and life and mystic knowledge of the grave.
No, intricate lore of love.
Intricate lore, sorry. Lore
Okay.
of love and life.
Yeah.
And
And the mystic knowledge of the grave.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. Very good. Now here in this particular activity, what is to be done is that the words I have highlighted. Now the advanced learners, they may feel, oh, earlier we know all the things. Now here I am asking them. There are you can look for the words. This is the word bliss. Now can someone know what is bliss? So bliss is happiness. Now, if I say, yeah, so bliss is happiness. So write few more words which describe bliss or which describes happiness. So you can say delightful, joyful. So the list can go on. Then pang, that is grief or sorrow, kind of a sorrow or pang. So you can write what are the words that describes the pains. So pang means pains, sorrow, grief, misery. So go on writing so many words. So this adds to their vocabulary. And once all the students complete writing about these words, then what I will do as a teacher, I will ask the student who has not done more words. Then, so it is all inclusive. The classroom should be all inclusive learning. So I'll ask that student to come ahead and I'll ask him to write the word, okay, bliss. So if he writes bliss, rest of the students who has made the list, they will tell him or her to write the rest of the words which are associated with bliss or a synonym or antonym of bliss, something like that. So this on the blackboard itself, you can see how many words, 6, 9, 10, 9, 10. Yeah. So out for 10 words, if you get at least 10 words extra for one word, so it automatically maximizes the vocabulary in the classroom itself. Okay. So these are some of the techniques in which we can make students or we can orient the students towards learning writing techniques or expanding their understanding about writing. And if they understand more words, they can write, they can start expressing themselves. So the first problem of vocabulary gets solved to some extent with such activities. So lexical sets, we can say like this. Okay, so this is how one can develop the writing skills. Okay, this is another picture here. What is the difference between these two pictures? Can you see? Of course, there's a difference between these two pictures, but can someone try to tell?
Sunrise and sunset.
Yeah, sunrise and sunset. First one is sunset. Second one is sunrise.
Okay. Okay. But okay, this the first one, can it be a moon?
No need.
No. Okay.
No need.
So
It may.
anyway, yeah. So here I have tried to just put it into words. 2 words, you can write 3 words about this scene. Whatever you see, the rising sun or the moon. So if you can describe it in 2-3 words, that will be okay. If you could write a small poem of 2 lines, like a couplet, that will be also okay. Just try it.
The moon behind the flowers lays
Yes.
gives your memories.
Yeah.
The boy is telling the moon behind the lace of the sari, something. The flowers, it appears as a transparent sari.
Oh,
Transparent sari. So,
that's great. That's great. Yes.
thank you.
Anything else about the sun? Very good. Well tried, madam.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
See,
The
yes,
rise
yes.
of the sun in the mountain gives a hope in the morning.
Yes.
Hope in the morning.
Okay. Now,
As
yeah.
if I'm viewing in the terrace. As if I'm viewing in the terrace, the sun in the mountain gives me hope today. Something like that.
Very good. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Well tried. Both of you tried well. Now here, madam, earlier when she was describing the moon, she said it looks like a transparent sari. Okay, so it depends on, and the moon, sorry, the sun was described something mountains, the sun from the mountain or something like that. You said. Can you repeat, ma'am, that?
The sun from the mountain gives me hope of a day.
Oh, that's great. So sun from the mountain gives me hope. Now here, exactly, yes, you well said. Now, writing, imagination is the key. Imagination is the key to become a writer or to develop writing skills as such. So here, when you said that, ma'am, that I find that this is a sari, transparent sari, with the flowers. So this is the imagination. Now it is your own imagination. Somebody, believe me, when I saw this picture, I have not imagined that kind of a imagery for this picture, or even with that other sun also. So sun gives a hope to the new day. So that is also another poetic expression. So here, every person is blessed with some sort of imagination. The only thing is that we usually do not practice it. The real problem lies that we don't think of it. We are not trained for thinking in such a way. They say that about poet, in Hindi, they say, जहां न पहुंचे रवि वहां पहुंचे कवि. That is, a poet can think even beyond any this world. Okay, so the world, and that's why they are different. So imagination is the key for writing, and that can be developed. So writing can be developed by training to think in a different way. So this was one of the attempt to make you people think in a different way. Such, okay. Now, yeah, this is something I would like to talk about. If you read the title Gnan Bharati English, it sounds a combination. It's a combination of something odd. Sorry, it's a combination of this Indian language plus English. Now, you would ask me why this particular title called Gnan Bharati English. Now, this is something that I have initiated in my college as an online platform for all those students who are willing to improve and enrich activities like writing, reading, speaking, and listening. So, why this platform? Because suppose you are teaching in science college, or suppose you are teaching in engineering college, or in any other specialized commerce college. Now here, what happens? All the students are not interested in learning some these kind of linguistic activities. So as a teacher, what becomes your role? You have to select, in the sense, sorry, you have to create an open platform for all those who are interested in learning that. So I have created this an online open platform where only those who are interested in improving and learning and enriching their language skills, they can join us. So otherwise what happens, if we as a teacher, if we go on giving everybody the same stuff, they may not like it, and they may not accept it also the way you want them to accept it. So one way of nurturing writing skill or any other language skills is to create your own different online or offline platform, where earlier we used to have clubs, English club or maths club, something like that. So now we can have this an online platform where we can have such activities for the students and make them some focused activities like we are doing now. So these activities will try to bring them their skills and the talent from the students. So this is one thing that those who want this Jnana Bharati English. Yeah, and let me talk about the title that why I have decided this title, because Jnan means knowledge, Bharati means language, and English. So English is the language of knowledge. Of course, every language gives knowledge, but this language is a global language, and it will give you more opportunities with the knowledge that you will learn. So that's why Jnana Bharati English is the online platform that I try to initiate in my college.
What is the, ma'am, it's a Hindi word, first word, Dhyan.
Jnan, actually, you can take it in my mother tongue, that's Marathi, it is Jnan means knowledge. But in Hindi, we know it as a Gyan.
Dhyan. Dhyan only I know.
Yeah, Gyan is a Hindi word, but since my mother tongue is Marathi, so I used it as a Dhyan. Okay.
So this platform is made by you only, ma'am. You have created this one. Very nice.
I only have created this title because
So
I
now
thought
we can open it now, ma'am. It is in condition. I mean, to use it.
if you like it,
Yeah, I will try and I'll tell you how I feel it. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll be
Sorry.
very happy if you take the same title, and if you like it, please go ahead. I don't have any as a possession as such, because I believe that more you give, you get more. So I'll have many more ideas to implement. Okay, so
Thank you.
Jnana Bharati English, that was the title of an online platform which I initiated, which I think that I should. Okay. Yeah. So earlier all those activities were part of writing skills. Now how we can make it more interesting? Now here I have tried to include one example, and this talks about Colin Legumes. Actually, I was teaching FY BCom, that is commerce students, and there was one lesson in their syllabus named as The Rising Tide of Urban Chaos. Now, what is that title, Rising Tide of Urban Chaos? So it was nothing but the study of growing population in Africa. And in that particular lesson or chapter, almost 10 paragraphs were there. And each paragraph used to give the comparative analysis of, in this year, this was the population. Like in economics, we have statistical information. So and then first paragraph, okay, in this year, this particular state, this particular city was having this what is that number of people, that is population. Second one, the same, the another city and the statistics, the another city and the statistics. So like this. But then for me as a teacher of English, I found it really difficult in first year when I was teaching that for a syllabus for the first time. I realized this is more of a economics than of a English. Then how should I make it more interesting? Then next year I thought of an idea. So I said, let's do one thing. So this chapter, instead of me teaching you all, why can't you all form the groups? And then I formed the groups, and then I said that this group people, like first 3 paragraphs, one group will take, and rest of the 3 paragraphs another group will take. And they say, you all will study this lesson on your own, and instead of explanation in paragraphs, I want you to prepare this information in the graph format or pie chart format, or maybe any other way in which the data can be reflected with great effect. So this idea the students like most, because they got a chance to work in a team, and they're all, and I said that let's see who makes better charts, who makes a graphical representation, let's see which team makes more better graphical representation. And please believe me, all my friends, I got such a wide, very big, what we can say, a large graphical representation of that lesson. And it is not only that I got that information in a statistical representation, but when those two teams, when they came in front of the class and they explained their presentation, they have understood the lesson. Moreover, their friends also understood the lesson in a more better way. So I think involvement of the students in learning is very important. So unless you involve them in the learning, perhaps they will not learn to that extent that we expect them to learn. So that was one attempt of collaborative learning or activity. Of course, there are many, but this I think I should share as a writing activity. So I shared in this presentation. So these are some of the ways in which one can develop interest and joy in learning, because the things that we enjoy, we learn only those things. So this is what I think is very important. The things that we learn, the things that we enjoy, we learn only those things. Okay. Yeah, now here is incentivize to the sensitized. Now here, why I have given this title here is that as a teacher, one has to understand the psychology of the students. Of course, not only people or everybody around us, but if you give them some sort of platform, and with that platform, they will create wonders. Believe me, they'll create wonders. Now here, I will talk about another activity here is that one day I gave students, I wrote 5 words on the blackboard. And then I said, okay, you see, out of those 5 words, you can select any 3 words and make a short paragraph out of that. Only 3 words, but I want you to develop a short paragraph on that. And you have to give the theme. Okay, so that short paragraph you have to develop. And to my great surprise, I realized that a student who was very rarely, he used to come to the class. He was not a very regular, first bench student, etc. And then out of all those students, he came up with a very interesting story. And I was wondering, oh my God, this student have never turned to the class, but he could compose the story in such a way. Of course, turning to the class does not necessarily talk about his intelligence. Of course, he is an inborn talented student, so that's not an issue. But there are some gems in your class. There are some pearls in our class. They need to be identified. They need to be given exposure. And so this was one of the attempt that student gave me, that wrote that paragraph. And then I realized, I said 3 numbers will be there: first number, second number, and third number. So for that class activity, I gave them 1 number. I gave a pen. Okay. Then so that the writing should continue. And then the second number, because he was a student of commerce, they all the time in need of calculator. So I thought of something important and something useful. So I gave him a calculator. And the third one, that I gave him actually the first one here, I mean to say, that I gave him a diary, and with a message, please continue to write the way you have written today. So that was such a big motivation for that student, and perhaps he will continue in life ahead. So that incentive is, you need to give incentive to the students. Though they may be short, but they speak a lot. They are kind of a recognition. When there is a photograph, we all the time look for, how do I look in that photograph? In that whole complete photograph of 10 or 20 people, we always look for, how do I look? So similarly, in the group of class also, every student is looking for some sort of recognition. So we can give this incentive, and that will be a kind of a recognition for their student. Now I have another thing is that competition for writing a short story. I've organized a competition for writing a short story, and to great wonder, there were students from BBA, there were students from BCA, there were students from commerce, and they all then 3 numbers were there for which the cash prizes and the certificates were given. Of course, this was by college sponsored, but yes, this activity I conducted for them to nurture their writing skills. So if you can see here, this is the certificate of participation in that writing competition, short story writing competition. And this is the book, the student, one of the student who has done well in writing that story. So though not the gift, but as a part of a consolation, I tried to give him a book with a principal, with a then principal madam, at the hands of her to this student. And this is something I asked on the Teachers' Day. I asked the students, the great teachers of the world. So this is what they write, and this is how I try to showcase it in the college corridor, so that everybody gets to know that whose task it is. So these are some of the incentives. Okay. Now, learning as a continuous process. Yes, one should be, and we all are lifelong learners. So here, that is truly learned, that is learned with pleasure, as Aristotle says. And then, yes, here I purposely added this example of, remember, English movie, you know. In that particular movie, if we have seen that how Sri Devi struggles to learn English when she goes to the USA. And then they have been asked the activities, you know, when very simple activities, describe how idli sambar is to be made. So you have to either speak or either you have to write. So this way you can teach or nurture language learning skills among the students. Then practice small learning every day in groups. So again, there are various things that we can do with the group. Initiate the activity with small compositions. So small compositions like can be describe an event. For example, somebody says, yesterday I had been to my town, so I couldn't come to the class. So tell us something about your town, how long it is from this place. Is there any specific thing that we should visit to your town? Or what is the population of your town? What are the products that are usually grown in the farms of your town? So you can ask them any small thing to talk about, and you can make them write. So event or an historical place or a diary, you know, start writing the diary daily. So of course, here you need, unless you are very much an awakened soul, or you are what we can say, sensitized soul, you can you perhaps will start it once you realize that. Yes, and this is what simplicity is, the beauty of language. The more simple you are, the more effective you are. If you use very complex words or jargon words or very technical words, perhaps the learner may not find that interesting. He is interested, but the inability to understand those words will kill the interest of learning. So be simple, so that you can make the most of that particular opportunity. You know, so that is simplicity is the beauty of language. And yes, creativity is the key for writing. As I said, creativity is the key for writing. And now, just a couple of slides back, you said that the moon looks like a sari with a flower. So that's nothing but a creativity. Okay, how differently you think. The way you think, that makes you as a person, you know, about that different thought process is important. Yeah, now you all will be surprised to see, oh, what is this? We are attending an international conference, and what is this piece of writing here ma'am is sharing? But I have purposely shared it because I'm going to translate what is written here. I am going to talk about what is is there in this particular article. This was an article written in a newspaper, and in that newspaper, it is in this article, rather, I would say that creativity is not a cup of only the authors who write, but anyone who senses that feeling, anyone who has that experience. Anyone who has that feel for writing can write. And here in this write-up or this article, it says that there was an upper commissioner of police once he got a book called that was a famous book, I'm sure you must have heard about, Upamanyu Chatterjee's English August and Indian Stories. So this particular police commissioner of police, he got this book to read, and after reading that book, he realized he got inspired by reading that book, and then later on he developed the writing as a hobby for himself. And one fine day, he himself wrote a book which was later on published as a Corpse in a Quagmire. So it is written by Ramanand. I'll just read the name. Yeah, Sunil Ramanand. So this is a journey of, and then he went on writing many other books. So it is a journey of a commissioner of police who was so busy, we can say, but still he also can try and make writing as his own new journey. Okay, and that's why the title says that Animi Lekhana Suruvat Keli. That means I started writing. This is how I started writing. My journey of writing began like this. Okay, now I'm moving slightly towards the conclusion. Now, as water comes from the well and other natural resources, reading and of course experiencing. So what is the food for your writing? The food for writing is that your observation, your wide open observation towards this world. And once you look at the people around you, perhaps you will start realizing their feelings, their problems, and that will become the source of inspiration for you to write. So you should keep listening, keep observing, keep reading, and keep pondering. Now, what is pondering? That whatever you have observed, try to connect, try to think of it, how it happened, what has gone into that. And that will make you, and all this will sensitize you to expand your world of experience. Of course, as I said, that whenever you listen something, whenever you observe something, or whenever you read something, it adds to your knowledge, it adds to your world of experiences. And that's why this will become the food for thought. And one fine day, you will start writing. Now, yes, and I'll be very happy if we develop, I could create that kind of inspiration in the participants. Okay. Now here, this is before I just go ahead this, as I said, that creativity reflects through your thought process. And it is nothing but this, as I said, observing. When we observe the people around us, that becomes a food for thought. Now here, today's scenario is that what is happening, we all can see how COVID-19 has affected the life. This pandemic has changed all the what we can say facets of human life. And how can these facets not be reflected in literature? And that's why they say that literature is a reflection of society. Writing is a reflection of society. And believe me, yesterday only I got a WhatsApp poem on WhatsApp. And this particular poem, why I have included it, I heard that this is a poem written by one of the but this poem has given me very deep insight that this is how literature or how writing reflects the society. Now, as I said, that it is pandemic and every facet of life has changed. So the teachers, and now in the beginning also you all saw that how difficult, I have tried it, but how difficult it was to start with that screen sharing with the Google Meet. I'm okay with Zoom, but yes, learning is a part of our life, and one should never stop learning. So now I'm very happy to read this poem. Of course I can read, but if somebody else will read, I'll be very happy, because they all will understand what the student has tried to know. And this is what the students do for us. That is very important. Please, will someone read the poem?
Yes, myself, ma'am.
Yeah, please go ahead.
To all the teachers, from hand holding to screen sharing, from chalk to chat, from blackboard to whiteboard, from real to virtual, the journey was difficult, but you did not give up. From offline to online, from keep quiet to speak up, From no mobile to turn on your mobile, from conventional to technical, the journey was difficult, but you did not give up. From notebook to screenshot, from teacher's assessment to self-assessment, from classroom to Zoom, from school to home, the journey was difficult, but you did not give up. I think so, ma'am. Last line, I didn't see that last line, ma'am.
Yeah, but you did not give up. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. But it's very, very rhythmic, ma'am, and it's also very appealing poem. And this is that shows the present condition of all stakeholders.
Exactly. So I hope it speaks volumes about the teachers. Those 3 stanzas, they have covered the whole scenario of pandemic through which all the teachers were struggling. And as I said, that literature reflects the society. So whatever is happening, they have observed it. So observation is the key, is the part of a writing process as such. Okay. So this is a very interesting poem. I also liked it. And yes. Now here, actually, I am, what should I do? See, here I have one more interesting video that I will show. And then we can just stop here. So, and I'll be happy to answer your thing. Okay, the only thing, okay, I'll summarize what is this video is all about. This was one interview at IIT Kharagpur, I think, where Mrs. Sudha Murthy and Mr. Narayan Murthy were invited. And during their this presentation, it was like a interview, a live interview where the students were asked a question. And the question was that a girl was asking this question to Mrs. Sudha Murthy, madam. She said, what is the journey of your, how will you describe, or what is the secret of your literary journey? And I think the answer that madam has given, Sudha Murthy madam has given, it covered most of the things that we discussed. And luckily, yesterday when I was just browsing through, I got this video. And then I thought that I should make this video as a part of my presentation. So that will fulfill the whole, or that will sum up what I tried to say. And if it comes from the secret from the lion's mouth itself, that is if madam herself tells, so that becomes authentic words. So if possible, I'll share the link on the group. Do watch this question and listen to the madam very carefully. You will understand what makes a good writer. So that is very important. Anyway, I tried to be make this as a part of my presentation, but my sincere apologies for not making this as a technically correct presentation. Yes.
No, ma'am. It was interesting, ma'am.
Really interesting.
Really
Anyway,
inspiring.
I before I conclude and before I this thing, where is that? So it is just an attempt. Whatever I said is that a part of my routine work, or I tried. So what is my appeal to all the participants, friends, is that there's nothing that we cannot do. And writing is not something that we can never do. We all can do. The only thing is that training, that mindset is important. So if we set that tone of training to the students in a right way, a joyful way, a very collaborative way, they will become good writers, and they can express themselves well. And with this, I think I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity and bearing with me with the little, what we can say, the technical incapacities that I had during the presentation. But yes, I tried my level best to bring out whatever I tried during these so many years in the classroom. I also thank all the participants for listening me patiently and hopefully interestingly. with this, I thank you all again. But yes, before I stop, I will be very happy if you have any questions to answer. I'll answer those questions.
Yeah, ma'am. Now the session is open for questioning.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, please do.
Ma'am, what I felt actually is this is the job of English department people, because people like science people, we cannot give much creative thinking in our teaching, because we are teaching the theorems and laws, principles, and all, something like that. So creative, of course, in the tutorial or something like that, we used to ask them questions. But this the main duty of English literature department only. I feel so. I don't know whether it hurts you. Sorry.
Uh, yes. As far as learning language is considered, I agree with you that language is a English or any language department. But as far as developing the writing skills is every teacher's duty. Now I'll bring out the difference between these two. See, in science, I think there, if you ask a student to write something like in science, all the things are very specific, means this many grams, this particular or what we have, all those practical things, that there is nothing less and more. But you always can make a student to write or describe something on his own. So if he writes in his own words, perhaps that is nothing but developing the writing skills. I remember you can initiate. Okay, now let us I'll give you that example. So if you are trying to start an example of writing I'll give you the example of mathematics. Okay. So if you want a student to learn the numbers, okay. So when you want the student to learn the numbers, what happens? We immediately start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So instead of writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what you can do is that you put some articles together, and then we ask them, okay, of course it is in a, not in a means orientation it is called as. So if you put a bunch of things together and then ask them to count, so perhaps that counting becomes an exercise for the student, and then you can start writing, or then you can start teaching the numbers, how counting can be done. So orientation is important. Like, they say that famous story of Newton, how the apple fall. So if you want to teach the law of gravitational pull, and if you begin your class with the story of Newton, that how that apple fall down and then how he started thinking, so perhaps that makes more interest, that creates more interest in learning the activity. So you have to have a small story, small anecdote to begin your class with, and that sets the tone of your learning. And later on you can give them as much as difficult stuff, they will be ready to accept, because they have set a mindset to learn something new, because with that story they got interest in your subject. So anything that you think that you need to teach them, you initiate with some interesting activity and they will do it. And as far as language is considered, yes. So what does a language teacher will do? She will correct the grammar, she will suggest few more words, so that can be done. But overall teaching methodology should be like this. This is what I believe and I practice. I hope
yeah, ma'am. That I will do. That I will do. I'll explain my experiences and any interesting stories related to that. Even though whatever may be the tough subject I'm going to teach, with the daily usage of things and best examples. With that, I start teaching and making the physics as an easier one. That is my technique normally. The Newton tree I visited, ma'am. 2014, I went to Cambridge, and I went to Newton's birthplace, Walsthorpe, some name. I visited there and I took a photograph under the tree. Instead of that 5,000, some 500 years ago, that tree, this tree is a new tree, but the place they have kept it as a treasure house. and one old lady is explaining about Newton and his innovations and his room, how he studied optics and all. It was interesting. All these stories I used to tell the students also. They'll be very happy.
That's the reason, and you are really such. In fact, if you begin your class with this, perhaps you will set the tone of learning to all the students, because you are not talking only something about that you have not seen, but you have seen and visited and practiced. That you can share, and that
Yeah.
people like more, rather than only the information as such. So
Yes,
make it more a live lesson, learning lessons than mere theory as such.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great, great. I am very happy to listen to you that being a physics teacher, you are lucky enough to, or rather you are courageous and courageous enough to go and explore the areas of your of your subject. Very good, ma'am. I
Yes,
think
ma'am. At
you.
Trinity College, I visited, ma'am. Trinity College,
Oh,
which
that's great.
only the academicians are allowed to enter, not other people. Even the accompanist, my husband is not allowed there for the lunch and all, because all the scientists had their lunch there. Newton, Schrodinger, Cavendish, etc. So
Very
that
good. Yeah.
means it's considered as precious. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
True. True. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's hope that later of the other physics teachers should be inspired like you also.
I'm Dr. Chitra Srinivasan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chitra
Okay.
Srinivasan, my name is.
Fine. Okay. Do I have any other questions? I'll be happy to answer. Questions, comments, anything. Yeah.
If no one is ready, shall I give a comment, ma'am?
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, it was a fabulous session. You have proved your learning by doing skill even in today's session, ma'am, by making us engage in the whole session. You made us engage in the whole session, ma'am. Thanks a lot. And
Yeah.
rather than being in a lecture mode session, you made us really interact
Yeah.
in the whole session, and it was really a lively session, ma'am, and we were really uh, privileged to be in this meeting, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank
Thanks
you.
a
Thank you.
lot, ma'am. Once again, we are grateful for sharing such valuable knowledge with us, ma'am.
Okay. So, yeah, my sincere thanks to Regine Silvers, sir, for giving me this opportunity. And I am thankful to all of you for listening to me patiently and actively. So, I think, Regine, sir, now it's time to stop, or is it? Oh, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
If no one is ready to no one
No,
has
it's
any questions,
okay.
then we can.
Fine.
If
I
anyone,
enjoyed.
yeah, ma'am, we all enjoyed.
I also enjoyed being a part of this gathering, and really lucky to be a part of the and to hear from Chitra ma'am that she had been to that place. So yes, among the scholars, I found myself a very one of the lucky person. So thank you all, and to the organizers also.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.